Well, I'm live. Oh, man. Let me get over here and get that. A little bit of sunlight's coming through there and getting in my eyes a little, or getting on the video there a little bit. Let me turn my chair around. Maybe that's a little bit better. Hope the stream's coming across pretty good. We'll see. Yep, we'll see. See if we get a few in here. Lunchtime, or as one of the guys used to tell me, it's 12 o'clock or lunchtime, depending on if you have money or not. So I guess that's what it is. It depends on whether you have money or not, if you can eat lunch. I guess that's where the old saying was. Well, I've had my lunch, so that's a good thing. I had a heck of a night last night. I had a truck. Well, they called me out of my Savannah terminal, and they had a sort of an emergency. I didn't have a spare truck to get up here per se. I had a truck that had issues, and we were going to bobtail it up here today. But they told me if I could get it up the road, they had another team that could take it, and then I could swap and pull the empties on up. And other words, more at a leisure type thing. Wouldn't be in a rush for those empties. So we were able to do that, and I got a great driver down there, Donnie Lanier, that helped me coordinate that, and we got him up. We got him on his way back right now. And we were able to bring that up and kind of help rescue a load. Well, I was up with that from probably 10 o'clock last night to about at midnight. And then about 1:30, FedEx out of Charlotte called me and said there was a Knoxville driver that had broken down not too far from me. So they asked me if I could help him in any way. All it was, the guy, I think they had worked on a water pump or something on their truck, and it must have had air in the system, or they didn't get past the thermostat right or something. Anyway, his truck lost a little bit of water. He may still have a issue with the radiator or something like that. I don't know. He's got he had a water leaking problem, and he ran out of water over there, and that's all he needed was just water. So I jumped up and put the old jeans back on, ran on out to Kings Mountain, which is about, probably 15 miles from where I live, and was able to help rescue the guy, get him going again, and he made it back to Knoxville, Tennessee this morning. I've already talked to his boss. They were real appreciative of that. It was sort of a good Samaritan type thing that we did, and I hope it was beneficial to them. I try to be a good person and try to do the right thing, because you never know when I need that same kind of help and cooperation from somebody on the other end. So I try to do that when I can. But that being said, it took a lot of time. I was up till about I got back home about 3 o'clock this morning. And hey, Chris, been busy, enjoying your videos too, Chris. Be careful out there with that. Oh, I had to stop and talk about this. I was watching Chris Richards' video, and he was pulling out an old tractor out from a barn, or I guess a shed of some description, and it had a little bit of a knoll, and lunchtime chat. That's what we're doing, JC. Didn't get any donuts for you or anything though, but it's good lunchtime chat. But yeah, I saw Chris pull that tractor out, and I saw how long of a chain he had, and I said, "Oh crap!" I saw that camper over there. I said, "I hope he's tighten that up right quick, because he had a lot of slack in that chain." I said, "Oh man, he's going to run all over that." Yeah, it looked wild. I mean, I was cringing myself. I was like, "Oh God, don't let it hit that camper." But it was muddy. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. I could use some donuts, but I can't eat donuts right now. I'm kind of off of the bakeries, and in what they call it, anything with flour, basically. I'm off of that right now. Taking off my breads and everything else, trying to get my A1C1 back down a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to beat the doctor so I don't have to go on any kind of medication. I don't want to be on any kind of medication. And I've chosen to do it through diet. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Chris said I got tickled at your video. I mean, I've been in. I didn't want it to be one of those redneck videos where you know the old saying that what is the old saying about the redneck says what's the last words of a redneck? It goes, "Hey y'all, watch this," and. Oh yeah, those LED lights are something. I mean, they're you know I'm gonna put them through the entire shop, and that shop has a lot of lights. I was back there. I've got another probably 40 or 50 lights I got to replace. But yeah, you cut out the switch when you're sleeping. Yeah, no, you're sleeping with the sweeties. What you're doing, JC? Yeah, hold my beer and watch this. Yeah, yeah. Hey, y'all, watch this. That's the last words from a redneck. Yeah. Well, I enjoy watching. I watch. You know, I quit watching regular TV and I'm watching what all of us guys are doing out there. I enjoy that. I'm trying to put together a better computer system so I can actually build some videos and everything. I'm more of a live streaming guy because I just sit down for a few minutes and can chat and talk. And I like that part because I actually do converse with people. So that's, to me, that's entertaining in itself too. And watching other people's videos and then coming up with some of my own and chatting with the people that I think that are very entertaining. And both of you guys, JC and Chris, I think are entertaining and, you know, got some skills. Okay, the guy steering the tractor was your editor. I got you. I don't have an editor. I guess you're looking at the editor, the chief bottle washer. I'm a lot of times I'm the example or whatever. I'm having to do all of it myself. My wife does not care to do anything like that. She doesn't want on the videos, but she's tolerating me a little bit, and you know, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying you know, take out a few minutes out of my day and speak with people and you know, give them my ideas and my thoughts. And you know, if I'm doing something like I did last night. Yeah. Well, my wife's the brains too. My wife's my wife is a very smart person. She was a school teacher for 32 years. Taught 8th grade math. She taught math and algebra and everything. And she's actually, as far as book knowledge, she has way more book knowledge than I do. I guess I've got the hard knocks knowledge. I've been out in it. I've been in the world doing things, hands-on knowledge, and they both are practical knowledges. It's good to have that. And sometimes she helps me and I help her when it comes to the paperwork for our company. I let her well, Ricky, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I was watching and I'm going, oh God, don't let that thing hit that camper. I didn't want it to be one of those. Yeah. I mean, I'm learning how to do this. Let me see, do this tool thing here. If I can get this, I'm gonna add Ricky as a moderator too on there. I didn't know how to do that for the longest time. I had to educate myself in the YouTube world, but I guess I'm the hands-on guy, and I'm like JC, I guess, in this respect. I'll try just about anything, And I see a lot of us guys out there do that. And it's rewarding sometimes. Of course, sometimes it can be disastrous too if you get out there and you make a huge mistake. I've tried things and I have made some huge mistakes, but I learned from my mistakes. No, you don't do that again. Yeah, type situations. Yeah. I was over at Herc Rental yesterday, and I was looking at they had some, wasn't a great all label, but it was some great all type equipment, and they've got a boom. I'm gonna probably use rent one of their booms to paint our building over here at the Ford dealership. When I get over there and I have to paint the roof, I'll probably try to put some videos together for that, because I definitely don't want to be doing that and live streaming at the same time. So I'll probably try to do that. Yeah. Yep. That's it. You get it by school or wallet and everything else. I was schooled one time on the business end of it when I bought the local radio station years ago. And that was the biggest mistake of my life, financially and, education wise. I mean, I had to learn to do the bookkeeping. I had to learn to do the billing and everything else, and what it took to put everything together to make $1. And it was horrendous. I mean, well, it's not horrendous. It was a terrible situation for me. I was too young, too dumb, thought I could, I had the bull by the horn. I thought I could do about anything back then. But I was underfunded, and it was a very bad time in our economy back in 1980 when the interest rates were around 20%. You see, you couldn't borrow money and make money, not at that point. So, it's a situation that you got to look at these things logical. Underfunded, yeah. Well, if you're not trying to take on too big of a project when you're underfunded, you're okay. The problem was I took on a monumental debt. I mean, a monumental debt. I should have never allowed myself to go that far in debt. Even though I had some owner financing, I'd paid a bunch up front. And then the owner financing of the radio station, he knew he had overpriced it, and I was too gullible, and I was wanting it too bad. And I've learned from that point that if it's not a gut feeling that that you can make it on something, don't do it. I let my gut know right quick if I can do it or not. And sometimes I'll extend myself a little bit, but I'm more cautious, or either I kind of gather myself up and I'm not sold on something immediately. I mean, yeah, it does. It taught me how to approach it about, you got to let every entity of everything you do make some money. You can't go at it and say, well, this one's going to lose money, but I'll make money here. No, you kind of need to look at it and say, well, let's make everything make money. That's like me. I bought this Napa store. It is not making money yet. It was so far in debt. Well, the boy had really let it run down. He was underfunded, and I've got it back up to sort of break even almost, but it is not making money yet. It's going to probably take, me a good 2 to 3 years, I think, before I can turn a profit on this Napa store. One thing being, I was the biggest customer of this Napa store, one of the biggest. And that's probably one reason I went ahead and bought it. I did get it at a good deal, not to, what most people I've talked to about is said, buying a Napa franchise. I got it at bargain basement prices. I wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't. But yeah, it's handy to have my parts close by. That's what I was looking at that. What is that, a Firebird or I couldn't tell. It had a little bit of dust on it. But your Firebird or Camaro, love to sell you some parts on that, Chris. One thing I don't know if you saw what I typed in there. We've taken. I took an S10 that I got at a real good deal, and it would look rusty, it looked terrible, and we got it and wrapped it, and put the white vinyl wrap on it, and then logoed it up for our Napa. It looks like a brand new truck. I put some new wheels on it. It looks really good. I took the seat out and had it recovered. Yeah. Well, we always mess up. So we pass. Yeah. Well, when you're 19 years old, it'd be nice to get in something like that when you're 19 years old. The biggest problem you have when you're 19 years old is you don't have the working knowledge of how to run a business. If you can work with somebody for a short while, kind of get, emulate them if you like the way they're doing it, then you do better. But things have come about. I mean, not, oh, you had the money then. Well, if you had the money then, you probably should have. You should probably, don't get out and chase wild women and having a good time, or cars. The biggest thing, so many people go out and go too far in debt in cars and vehicles that they don't really need. I know JC's I'm gonna let that ring. That's probably telemarketing. Well, I don't know. Let me walk over here and actually see. Everybody's gone. I better double check it, but it's probably let's see if it's Sarah from Consumer Services. Hello. Jennifer Jennifer about the new portable health insurance. I get more crappy. I knew it was around dinner time. I'd start getting the telemarketers. But yeah, I would never miss an opportunity to do something if you feel good about it. And when we're talking about a business, I'm gonna get this out there. You got to work it hard, though. You got to work it hard. I mean, you can look at what JC's got accomplished. Now, I don't know how much JC's got in the bank. He's probably got way more in the bank than I've got. He seems to be able to buy what he wants to buy and sell what he wants to sell. So I say he's got a pretty good system. I mean, you can't go out there and continually buying things, property to fix and sell if you're not doing good. And I'd say JC is, I'm reading. Yeah, debt is a 4-letter word. Yeah. And peace. If you got some folding money in your pocket, and you got peace of mind, and you don't have to worry about where your next paycheck's coming from or where you're going to eat and all that sort of stuff, that's a good feeling. I don't care what level you're at. To give you a perfect example, my brother-in-law is an orthopedic surgeon. He makes good money. He's been in the business. Well, he's almost ready to retire, but he's been in the business for 40 years as a doctor. Makes good money. I'll just put it at that. But he and I were kind of kidding. He said, and he said something to me 25 years ago. He said, "Well, I know you think I make good money." He said, "But we're just at a different level of poor." And that's sort of the way you have to kind of look at it. Yeah, everybody's at a different level of poor. I mean, there's some people that's probably got way more cash than I'll ever see. But you'll make a certain amount of money, you'll spend a certain amount of money. When people look at what I have, they say, "Oh man, you're really rolling in the money." And I keep thinking, yes, I have to roll in a lot of money because I have a lot of debt each week. my payroll would choke a goat, as they would say down here. Right now I'm employing about 45 people. And that's a lot of payroll that I have to come up with every single week. And you have to take that in consideration. So I make a large amount of money. Or as I tell people, I'm a little bit like the girl at the bank. I take in a lot of money every day. But at the end of the day, when she walks out of that bank, she didn't get to take all that home with her, and neither do I. Here's my partner calling right now. Let me get a hold of him. Hey, Landon. No, I'm out now. I'm out. I had my lunch and everything. Yes. Okay, so it's getting oily look into the water. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you need a big truck back. Well, no, you don't. Well, you're going to take a lot of peripherals off. Yeah, it's not an easy job. It's not easy. Yeah. How much were they wanting to do it? 3,000. Yeah. Yeah. $1,500 labor and then another $1,500 for the part, probably. Well, they're saying the EGR coolant is leaking also. Well, you know, that EGR cooler is $1,100. Well, I mean, yeah, well, you can't have the water and oil mix. That's for sure. When oil coolers go out, you better replace it. You'll tear an engine up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we can, schedule tonight. We'll switch him out one day. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to tell you now, how bad's that oil cooler leaking? Well, if you can tear an engine, you can lock an engine. You better get rid of. You better do something, because you can lock an engine up, because it's mixing oil and water. It's mixing oil and water is what it's doing. That's not a good combination. That's what we need to switch it out. We need to do something. I can take. Well, if that's the case, we need to get probably. We need to get the big truck down to him then, if that's the case, because you're talking about a serious problem. If you don't fix that oil cooler, you. Well, I don't know everything, but I do know how to tear a truck up, and that will tear a truck. Been there, done that. Yep. Did he just run in Atlanta? All right. Well, okay. We don't have Perry's schedule for tonight, do we? No, I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if we shouldn't run Perry on that Atlanta and bring that truck on up, because if we don't do that, if you can switch that to the K Walker part and switch that over, then we can get Perry to run that one and get Daniel to bring that truck on up. Because if you don't, you're going to lose an engine on that thing. All right. 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 All right. We'll have to do that. Uh, all right. We'll do. All right. All right. See you. Well, guys, I guess you're seeing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna have to get back into real world situations. I got some dispatching to do. Unless y'all want to just hear me dispatching on the phone, which I don't think you want me to do. I'm going to have to get back to work. Lunch is over, and it's time for me to get back to work. I've enjoyed chatting with everybody, but I'm going to call it a day for right now. Maybe I'll catch y'all on the backside.